Hulk Hogan. Matt Damon.
Hulk Hogan! Welcome to 30 Days of Mania. WrestleMania IX. And it's real American once again at the end of the show. There was no singing of the national anthem or America the Beautiful to open up this show, just all the elephants and the camels and all this
animal abuse.
It's not
Why
animal
you don't
abuse.
really need any music then, do you?
Yeah.
Because it's just
Like
wonderful.
Caesar and Cleopatra or something like that, but it takes place in Caesar's palace in LA, I think, maybe, I don't know. Maybe somewhere else, I don't even know, but it's outdoor. It's one of my favourite WrestleMania arenas, but it's not a great show. It's kind of fun how bad it is. I mean, like, all the commentators are wearing togas. Howard Finkel is known as Finkus Maximus. It's kind of funny, notable for Jim Ross's first WrestleMania job, I guess. Yeah, so Connie wanted to watch the Undertaker's match. I told her you really don't want to, so we kind of watched it on fast forward.
With sound. So
Yeah.
they all sound like Chip and Dale and stuff.
Yeah, and even then it was a slow match.
I think
Even
he was
sped up,
in
it was-
some kind of, not a chokehold, but some kind of hold for
Yeah.
5 minutes. Like, even when I
It
was
wasn't
fast
that.
forwarding,
It wasn't that long, but it was
probably at least 3 or 4.
It was Undertaker versus Giant Gonzalez, who was just like an even worse version of Great Khali. Couldn't work a lick, just absolutely.
Such an appropriate outfit too.
Yeah, Connie found his
Kids
attire
are there.
inappropriate. It doesn't really bother me, but there you go.
It is.
It's like a
He
full
looks
body suit.
naked,
Yeah.
and there are kids there.
But
They actually
didn't-
zoomed in on this little girl, and she was like,
They didn't paint a knob on him though, so it's not that bad.
"There's just blackage."
Yeah, blackage is fine.
No, because
Blackage is not a word.
you expect there to be something there. Then
Mm.
again, seeing Hulk in the end was kind of inappropriate too. There's something underneath,
Yeah.
please.
So
Tighten
I'm
stuff
sure
up.
everyone knows that what happened at the end of WrestleMania IX, but before that, the main event, which we did watch, the only match we watched from the show, was Bret Hart, the reigning defending WWF Heavyweight Champion, against Yokozuna. And it wasn't like a terrible match. In fact, I quite liked bits of it, and it was short, so it wasn't like, I don't know, it didn't get dragged out, you know, and they worked within the limitations of Yokozuna. I still think Yokozuna's pretty good. He could bump and he could kind of work, but obviously,
Well, yeah, anyone who can sit on someone is a good wrestler, right?
it's not what I said, but you know, it was never going to be a classic wrestling match, is what I'm saying, and it was never going to be a classic main event, but it was what it was.
At least it wasn't as ridiculous as the racism of the crowd going USA whilst there were Japanese people on the stage.
I don't think Yokozuna is actually Japanese.
Doesn't matter.
The character is Japanese.
It doesn't. Yeah, well, they don't know that, do they?
Character racism, that is.
Huh?
Character racism. The racist of the character.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. He's not obviously American anyway, so.
I think he is.
Unless he actually is.
I don't know. I don't know where he's
But
from, to be
the
honest.
crowd doesn't know that. I don't know that. And there's the Japanese flag on stage and stuff, which is fine, but. Yeah.
Anyway, so the match was okay. There's a couple of good bumps in it. You know, I love Bret Hart anyway, so it's always great seeing him wrestle. But the finish was he kind of managed to actually get something of a sharpshooter on Yokozuna, and Mr. Fuji threw some kind of dust in his eyes, and Yokozuna pinned him, won the title. I mean, what I didn't like about that was, you know, Yokozuna didn't even pick him up and do another move, you know, for added emphasis. He just pinned him off the gimmick in the eye, and it was just like, yeah, you know.
At least it wasn't as stupid as the ending of the Undertaker's match.
Yeah, the Undertaker.
Chloroform?
Yeah, the Undertaker Giant Gonzalez match, I think WWE would like to forget because he didn't really win. I mean, he won by disqualification because Giant Gonzalez used some chloroform on a cloth to suffocate him. So, yeah. Wasn't exactly.
Might as well brought a gun out. Well, no.
What?
I regretted that the second I said it, but, you know, if you
Wow.
know you're going to get disqualified, why do it? You know what I mean.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Moving swiftly on from that.
Please don't tell me you ever did something with a gun
Who?
in real life.
Who?
Gonzalez, you want to say
No,
that?
no.
Okay.
Not that I know of anyway. The only thing I know of Giant Gonzalez is he wrestled at WrestleMania 9, and that was all I know. I don't know of any other match he had.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah, so Yokozuna wins, you know, Bret's down, and then Hogan comes out. And then he's like, oh, this is, you know, Mr. Fuji cheated. And then, like, Mr. Fuji gets on the mic and he's like, Hogan, get in the ring, fight Yokozuna, we challenge you for a heavyweight title right now. And Bret's like, yeah, go do it, man, go do it, man. Hogan's like, oh, he goes in, hits a big, he hit a clothesline, leg drop, wins the belt in, I think, 22 seconds was the official bell time for that match. Hogan wins the belt again, and from what I can remember, it was really just for the sake of winning it, just for the sake of giving it an extra oomph, really, at the end of the show, because, I don't think Hogan held the title for very long, and Yokozuna won it back, so, bit of a shame. From what I remember, reading Bret Hart's book, you know, it really probably should have been Bret versus Hogan in a kind of passing of the torch. I mean, Hogan was really on his way out at this point.
His way out?
Yeah, from the WWF.
Right, yeah.
I mean, this was his last WrestleMania for, let me work this out, do a bit of maths, 9 years?
We won't get to see the Hulk for 9 WrestleManias? 9
Nope.
days?
Yeah.
9 full days?
Yeah, so that was his last Mania. And I really feel like it should have been a passing of the torch to Bret, but apparently that's not what Hulk wanted to do, and I can't remember the full story anyway, so it's not worth going into. But there you go, WrestleMania 9, it is what it is. I enjoy watching it for how bad it is at times. And there's a couple of good matches in there, you know, enjoyable watches, but nothing stand out really. There's really, it's probably the worst WrestleMania, I think, just because there's no match in it that's even really good. So yeah,
That's downside a little bit.
yeah, we've got Macho Man Randy Savage, who is now commentating, being led out on a, I don't know what you call that, on a what would you call that? On a bed. You know, with people holding it up.
Beddage.
Beddage. That's also not a word. Okay, that's that's the end of this.
Doesn't have to be.
This is from. Yeah, there's not much we can stretch out of a review of this show, but there you go. WrestleMania 9. Anything else you want to add?
No, I think we should just finish now.
In fact, I was talking the whole time. What did you think of Bret versus Yokozuna?
I don't think it was good.
Thank you for watching.
Well, no. Right, okay. Bret has always been good, but I don't... Oh, it's just so ridiculous. And it makes me realize that even though wrestling is ridiculous now, and I haven't been watching it as long as he has, and I'm just thinking like, oh, they're just, you know, it's gone out of control with all these weird characters nowadays. And now I'm watching the old stuff, and I'm like, it's actually better now, I guess. I don't know, well, at least they're trying to wrestle, but that's not like, what? What's he doing? Sumo? Really?
He's quite respected as a worker.
As a what?
Worker. Which means, you know, he's not necessarily like the best wrestler, but you know, he was agile for his size, and he knew how to work a match.
Agile for his size.
For his size, yes. I'm saying he's agile generally.
Well done, Sumo. Okay, we're gonna stop here before I say something too insulting.
Okay, thank you for watching. See you with WrestleMania 10.
Toodles.
Toodles.